is Lainey and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I am trying, emphasis on trying, to post videos twice a week, so hit that subscribe video for more cosplay and Lolita content. Or if you'd like to check out my Instagram or TikTok, they are I Forgot Reality. And yeah, I post a lot of content on there as well, mainly TikToks. I make a lot of TikToks, it's very addicting, and yeah, let's dive right into it. There have been a lot of posts going around on Instagram, and a lot of articles and such, which I'll link some down below, and if you have any more, comment them in the comment section. But there has been a lot of toxic behavior in the cosplay community, and I just wanted to address it so people are aware of it, and if you catch yourself or if you see a friend doing this, then please stand up and just say something and be like, hey, this isn't cool. If you're the one doing it, I just want to highlight that and hopefully get you to at least reconsider your behavior and at least become more open-minded to the fact that you may be hurting someone and hopefully change that behavior. If you see a friend doing this, I really hope you reach out to that person and say, hey, this is really hurtful behavior, let's fix it, let's work on it together, and just, yeah. Sorry, this means a whole lot to me because the cosplay community is how I met all of my best friends, and when I was younger it was such a happy place. I have so many happy memories in the cosplay community and I just want it to go back there, you know? I want kids who were my age when I first started cosplaying, kids who were 12, to be like, yeah, this is such a friendly and welcoming place. I don't want to see elitists in the cosplay community. I want to see us support each other and build each other up. So that is the reason behind this video, and let's jump on into it. For this video, I actually made a whole list of toxic behaviors that I kind of came up with myself, and then I saw different posts and articles talking about these, and I thought they were really interesting points, and I wanted to incorporate those as well. Like I said, any articles or posts that I use will be linked down below in the description box, and if you have any more to add to the collection, please comment them. So first we're going to break it down into in-person and social media actions. In-person being as if you go to a convention or if you go to a meetup, or even if you just see a cosplayer out in public or you know someone who cosplays in real life. So the first thing is quizzing someone about the character they're cosplaying from. This is so annoying, I guess. In order to cosplay, you don't have to know everything about the character, and it's really disrespectful if you go up to someone and you're like, oh, you're cosplaying from Overwatch? Why don't you list to me 50 different characters and their backstories and X, Y, and Z. I know nothing about Overwatch, I'm sorry. It's like, why? Just let the person have a fun time. Let them just be themselves. Why do you have to make them feel either stupid for not knowing or not a true fan for not knowing? You are allowed to like something without knowing every little detail about it. Just please stop. There's a huge difference between having a conversation with someone about the show and asking oh, what was your favorite part? What was your favorite scene? Versus, really? You're cosplaying this? You're a real fan. Come on, list these super tiny details that you probably don't know anyways, just to prove to me that you aren't really a fan. One is very welcoming, encourages conversation, and the other is very condescending. The next one is force shipping people. I can't even believe I am bringing this up, but I've seen so many stories about cosplayers who are cosplaying from B&HA, for example, at a convention, and they're cosplaying with a sibling, and say this kid is cosplaying Deku, and their siblings cosplaying Todoroki, and people kind of coming up and forcing them to take ship photos, which is disgusting because, you know, they're siblings, or people doing that when two friends are cosplaying together, or people who aren't in a relationship, they're trying to push them together because that's your ship, that's your OTP, and you want those ship photos. Just don't do that. There are actual people beyond the character cosplaying these guys, and you are probably pushing someone's boundaries. Unless they straight up say, yeah, I'm comfortable with that. Everyone has different comfort levels, and asking someone to kiss someone for a photo when they're siblings, friends, strangers, or asking them to hold hands, hug each other, that's definitely pushing personal boundaries and is not okay. Another one is based off of a TikTok video I saw. I actually posted this one to Instagram because it gave me such bad anxiety watching it, and I put please never do this at a convention. But the video consisted of these B&H cosplayers sitting on a balcony, and there's a cosplayer in a crowded convention hall down below that they see from the balcony, and they start screaming at this cosplayer, trying to get like his or her or their attention. And it gave me such bad anxiety hearing that, like, Todoroki, look up here, hey Todoroki, and like screaming this from the top of their lungs. And I don't know if they were like acquaintances at all, but imagine if that was a stranger. Imagine if you're just minding your own business at a convention and someone starts screaming at you for your attention. That is terrifying. If someone did that to me in such like an abrasive and angry way, I would probably like start hyperventilating, curl up in a little ball like on the con floor. That's scary. Do not yell at people. And I understand that sometimes they're far away and you want their attention, but you might run back into them. Be very mindful of the people around you, especially if it's in a crowded area at a con. Another thing, because I keep talking about this, you are cosplaying someone. You are not the character. And people need to really understand that. I've had friends who have cosplayed villains from series, and people have been so rude and abrasive to them just because they're cosplaying a villain. They like swear at these people, at these cosplayers, because they don't like the character they're cosplaying from. Even though the person, like the cosplayer behind the costume, may be the sweetest person in the universe, and they just like the villain. Please understand that someone is not the character. They're not obligated to roleplay, and they're not obligated to put up with your abuse if you're telling them how terrible of a person they are because they're cosplaying a villain. Sorry, my SD card ran out of memory. So like yelling at someone if they're cosplaying a villain is super disrespectful, and we're gonna jump straight on to the other one because I kind of forgot what I said for the last one. The next one is just using people at a convention, and this happens to me a lot. If you've seen any of the photos I take, my mom was a photographer and I was hired on for several different photography jobs. So like I've gained quite a few skills. I'm pretty decent. I still don't know how to edit photos though. I don't edit photos. I don't have Photoshop or anything, so all my photos are just raw if you see them, or the person who posted them edited them. But I'm pretty decent. I have a pretty nice camera and I have a lot of different lenses. And sometimes people just invite me out to be the photographer, or they befriend me because they think, oh, I can get free photos. And that's really hurtful behavior. It really, really hurts when you think someone has invited you out to like hang out at a convention or a meetup, and then you find out that they didn't want to hang out with you, but they wanted you to use your photography skills for them. The same goes with people with like Instagram followers or TikTok followers, and just like befriending those people because they can get you popular and they can give you shout outs and give you reach. Just please don't do that. That's so hurtful when you find out that someone that you thought was your friend has really just been using you for your skills, your talents, your fame. It's so hurtful, and I can't even put into words what it feels like to realize that someone is just using you when like you thought they genuinely cared about you. The next thing is seeing cosplayers as competition, and I struggle so much with this one, and it all goes back to kind of my self-esteem. I'll give you the example of when I was at Con Delete last year. I made this Ichigo cosplayer and I was so proud of it, but there was one section of it that I really hated, and it was right where my tummy was because it did this weird foldy thing and I didn't know how to get rid of it. I was still very proud and I was excited to wear out my costume, and then I went on the con floor, and I've never seen Tokyo Mew Mew cosplayers on the con floor. And then I started seeing all these Ichigo cosplayers who were so beautiful and so cute, and their cosplays looked so good, and they didn't do the weird lumpy thing at their tummies, and I just started having like a mental breakdown seeing these guys. And I started comparing myself, and I started wondering, should I never cosplay this character again? Did I just waste all of this time and money making a cosplay I'll never wear? And it's really hard for me to break out of that mentality. And it's really hard for me to see that I am my own person. I put my own skills, my own talents into this cosplay, and I am unlike anybody else, and I shouldn't compare myself to anyone else. It is so hard breaking away from this mentality, and it is so hard not comparing yourself to the other people you see, but it is really necessary. If you want to be happy, you gotta let that go. And that's something I've really been working on, is not comparing myself to other people and realizing that I bring my own set of skills and my own beauty to the table. And I understand how difficult it is going on places like Instagram and just seeing all these beautiful faces, and they're on your feed and they look glorious and glamorous, and so pretty, and they get so many likes, and you think to yourself, why aren't I like that? And you have to remember that that's photoshopped. No one really looks like that either. You gotta stop comparing yourself because you have your own beauty and your own skill set. Let's move on to the next set, which is online behavior. Okay, these two actually really tie in together, and that's stalking profiles and fake profiles. I'm a little bit scared to say this, but I have been stalked online by multiple different people, one of which I actually knew real life, and it was making me extremely uncomfortable and extremely scared. I don't get it. I've never been someone who like stalks profiles. I've actually never been on my boyfriend's Facebook or Instagram profile. I've never been on the Facebook or like Instagram profiles of anyone I've ever dated or any exes or anyone I was ever interested in. I just do not see the appeal to that, and it, like, the thought really creeps me out. And like, maybe someone in the comments can explain to me what the appeal of going through someone's social media actually is, because that's a little bit, I guess, beyond me. I don't understand it. But something I've noticed is that a lot of people will stalk profiles of like ex-friends or just cosplayers they really hate, or like exes in general. Like, for the person stalking their account, that brings you to a really bad mentality. It makes you angry, it makes you compare yourself, and all in all, I wish you the best. And just remember that you don't need to look at this person's profile. Looking at their profile, it won't make you happier, it won't make you feel fulfilled, it won't bring you satisfaction. Find something else to fill your time. Pick up some hobbies, pick up some stress relievers, talk to people about what you're feeling. But you don't need to stalk someone's profile, you don't need to go into that negative headspace, and you don't need to compare yourself to this person either. If you don't like someone, ignore them, cut them out of your life, hit that block button. And I just want to talk about fake profiles too, because if you're on Instagram, you know that you can see who views your Instagram story. Sometimes I scroll through just out of like curiosity, because I like to click on profiles and follow people back because I'm a weirdo, and sometimes I notice these like weird, sketchy profiles, I guess, and I click on them and I'm like, look at who they're following, and I'm like, I am pretty sure this is a fake profile that so-and-so made to like stalk my content. People make fake profiles because they don't want whoever's account they're stalking to see their real profile and to know, so they try to cover it up, and that's super toxic behavior. If you're thinking of doing that, or if you have been doing that, I definitely recommend talking to someone about it, maybe even going to a therapist about it, either just getting help in some way, deleting the profile, blocking this person, and just trying to move on. Because like I said, this is so bad for your mental health. So let's jump on over to the next one. This one I've talked about a lot. If you remember my why I dislike cosplayers video, or popular cosplayers video, the not getting enough like guilt trip. I hate this so much. I won't talk too much about it since I did how long ago? A year and a half ago, I think, maybe 2 years ago, I talked about this. Basically what it is if a post doesn't get enough clout, this person's like, I'm not gonna post any more content. Why do you hate me? Why don't you like me? Why don't you like my cosplays? Do you hate me? Am I ugly? Please get this to at least 1,500 likes and then I'll post my next photo. I think that's so ridiculous. And if I see someone do that online, I immediately unfollow and block them, because like, why? Why are likes so important to you? It's just a number. It has no real value. I understand to an extent that's really frustrating when you see something you worked really hard on flop, but don't hold content hostage, and don't blame your followers for not getting you enough clout. Oh, another thing. This has happened to me a couple times, not recently, but you know when you unfollow someone and then that account DMs you and they're like, I just want to know why you unfollowed me. That makes me so uncomfortable. Like, that makes my skin crawl so badly. If someone unfollows you, it is for a reason, and frankly that reason isn't any of your business. I understand why you would want to know why someone unfollowed, and you would want to know if you can improve your content, but frankly it's just a little bit creepy, and it sends the message that you like regularly check who follows and unfollows you, which is a little bit like obsessive, and also like makes the person who unfollowed feel really guilt-tripped and just uncomfortable. Okay, so we have two little topics left. The next one are indirects. I have a story to go with this, but that story would technically be an indirect, which would be great. No, I feel like I'm contradicting myself now. But indirects are these posts on social media where they're like, can't believe someone did this, and it's directed at someone without actually stating their username, but there's enough information there where you can figure out who it is. And they're always super negative and kind of drama starting. Just please don't post indirects about people. If you have a problem with someone, please be an adult and actually talk to them. Send them a DM, call them up on the phone, meet them in person, and be like, hey, this behavior really upset me, it really pissed me off, it really made me upset, it made me sad, whatever. And I was wondering if we could talk about it and if we could come to some resolve. If you post some mean indirect about someone and they see it, the chances are that they're gonna get really defensive, it's gonna add fuel to the fire, and you're gonna lose a friend in the long run. And you really have to put yourself in the perspective of, is me being petty and like starting drama more important than losing my friendship? Please don't post indirects. They're so immature. That is some like middle school mentality going on there. Now we're going to move on to our last one, which I totally blanked and forgot what it was, so give me 2 secs. Backhanded compliments. Oh, I hate these. A backhanded compliment is when someone, quote unquote, compliments you, but also makes you feel really bad and guilt trippy, all in the same sentence. Examples of this would be someone commenting on like your Instagram post, wow, you're so pretty. I wish I was that pretty. Too bad I'll never be. Or like your cosplay is so good. I wish mine would be that good. I've had some really guilt trippy backhanded compliments. Backhanded compliments are not compliments. Compliments are supposed to make someone feel encouraged and supported, uplifted, happy, loved, and backhanded compliments do the exact opposite. They make someone feel incredibly upset, uncomfortable, guilted, and they're really hard to respond to too. Like, how do you respond to someone who says, God, you're so talented, too bad I won't amount to anything? Like, that's so loaded, and a cosplayer isn't qualified to answer comments like that, if that makes sense. You can respond to it and be like, hey, don't say that, I'm sure you have your own things. Oh, this sounds so terrible. I don't know how to not make this sound terrible, but please don't give backhanded compliments. If you're feeling negative, please contact a therapist. Please contact a trusted family member or friend or adult that you can talk to about your issues. The best thing I can ever recommend is getting a therapist and talking to your issues with said therapist. Anyways, that concludes my video on toxic behaviors. I have quite a few videos like this one, so check those out if you enjoyed this one. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will see ya next time. Bye!